on my way to work right now for a class, and it's got me thinking a lot about how the last 3 months have been. Yes, it's been, wait a sec. Okay, it's been more like 2.5 months since I started this job. It seems like longer than that. I guess time is weird all the time, but before I worked in ICU, I was a med-surg nurse, and I kind of, I'm in the transition of doing the mental jump over, and it's been complicated by a couple of things. The first one is that I float to med-surg. I floated to med-surg probably 3 times since I started working this job, and I think that is actually a good thing because it keeps me being able to do that skill. I feel like being a med-surg nurse is actually a skill, you guys, and people who are in healthcare, CNA, nursing, registered nurse, LVN, if you work in med-surg, you know that working med-surg is a skill because you have to figure out how to do everything in 12 hours that you're supposed to do. So it can be a little bit of a challenge because it may not sound like 4 or 5 patients is a lot. At least on paper it doesn't sound like a lot because there are other areas of the country that aren't California that have, I think, up to 8 patients and maybe even more. I hope not, but I honestly don't know how they operate, and I don't know how the patients do well with that ratio. I just don't understand because it's already such a challenge to take care of 4. But I always try to check myself if I'm in that situation because of the fact that I know it could always be worse and it could always be harder. So, floating to med-surg from ICU, I feel like it keeps my mind being able to do that, and it makes me appreciate when I have 2 patients. Like, there are days in the ICU lately where I definitely feel stretched and challenged. I feel that working in ICU is kind of like you use your mind a lot more because you have to think quickly to be able to make the right decision. And in med-surg, it's like you have more time to use your mind, like you have more time to make decisions, but it's almost like you have less time to act them out, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense at all. When I said it, that sounded confusing, so I'm sorry if it is. However, in the ICU, I feel that I'm also gonna learn a lot, I think, over this first year switching over, because I know I'll get faster, I know I'll get more efficient even from the place that I'm at. But from where I came from, thinking in a different way and transitioning over to ICU, I feel like sometimes it's got its challenges and it's got its upsides, of course. So the upsides, I feel like physically, I feel like I have more to work with in terms of energy. And then mentally, I feel like the other day, I'm not sure if I remember telling you guys this, but there was a moment at around 4 p.m. on my 12-hour shift. I work 7 to 7, where I was like, I think today is so busy that I'm gonna just have to, I just know that today is not gonna get any less busy before I leave this hospital tonight. And when I can kind of accept that, it helped me because it made me just focus on what I knew I needed to do, and what I knew I was gonna need to stay late because I didn't have time to chart everything that was happening. Sometimes so many things are happening at the same time. People don't really realize what nursing is like, and let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. I think on the shows, we see all the drama, we see the people in cute scrubs, we see the emergency situations, but every single time there's an an unexpected like situation that happens, there's so much charting to do with it. And people, I think we don't want to like, it's not sexy to think about the paperwork. Because that's not what anyone's excited about. But it's one of the most important things, because there has to be a record of what's been done, so everyone can be communicated with, and then, God forbid, if a legal situation come up, then they can look back and see what happened, and hopefully everything makes sense on the charting for what went down, and there's no holes in the charting. But it's very important. There are people who have jobs dedicated specifically to the accuracy of charting and getting it done. Or I'd say branches of people's job descriptions where they come over and they teach you and they tell you that you missed something. And yeah, it's never the conversation anyone wants to have, so someone's got to do it. But just an idea too, like charting on 2 patients, even though they're ICU patients, versus charting on 4, which one do you think takes longer? The 4 patients always takes longer, because you still have to chart almost every single thing that you chart on the 2 patients with that 4 patients. Now, on a lucky day where sometimes if the patient is only there for like a little bit of time and they've got like 2 medications, or they just need to be there for some simple reason, then that makes your job so much easier. And I love that. I'm always grateful for that, because when I have less to chart, I feel like I can be more attentive to the patients, which is exactly, I think, the whole point. Which is why when I was a new grad or new to med surg and new to all the medical charting, I was thinking like, wouldn't it be great if I could like speak or like mentally chart as I was doing this assessment, so then I could just have it done, and then, you know, everything's all good. Like, I checked everything, I checked every patient system, I checked every patient. So I might, I don't know, we'll see. I'm sure the possibilities will become available as time goes on, but you never really know where healthcare is going to head. Like, are we going to have like robots doing patient care at some point? Like, at what point does technology integrate so much with our society that healthcare makes a huge change, all in the name of cutting costs, right? But I really hope that whatever happens down the road, patient outcomes are considered and really prioritized. Because, I mean, what's healing about an AI's touch? What's healing about a robot's touch? There's nothing. Yeah, they can do steps 1, 2, and 3, but yeah, it's weird to think about it, isn't it? Excuse me. But for the most part, I think going from med-surg to ICU, the transition has been pretty smooth. I'm really grateful. My coworkers are great. Everyone has been very patient, which is not the case in every certain place I've worked. People tend to, the less experience that you have as an RN, I feel like the more patience you kind of get, like the more grace that you get. But the longer you've been a nurse and the older you are as a person, I feel like, I don't know if it's just me and my awareness, like I didn't have that awareness, or if it really is different, but like being new at a facility in my 30s versus in my 20s, I feel like is a lot harder. I don't know. It also speaks to like, is it me or is it them? Like you have that question, you're like, and you just like hope that it isn't you. But anyway. Another thing that I'm currently working on too is when I am like not burnt out in my life. I'm working on healing some burnout right now, and I would love to. I'm gonna share about that in another video soon. So keep lookout for that, because I think that will be very useful to you guys and support you, whoever is feeling this way. But right now I'm recovering in a sense of like from a place of feeling burnt out. And we go through these times in our lives as nurses in every single field. I think we're just, you know, you're looking for more transformation in your life, and you're looking for things to kind of like take on turn a new leaf, for example, and things just don't happen as fast as maybe you'd prefer. So sometimes that can lead to burnout when you have all these expectations. And I think that as I'm recovering, it's harder to be my true vibrant self to the patients, which makes me really feel sad. I notice that when I'm happy in my work and I'm like enjoying the day and I'm full of energy, which I haven't been for a while, there are some days I'm very full of energy, but I've noticed that my patients are happier, and I think it's because I'm able to deliver more to them with less effort, so it just doesn't feel like a burden. It doesn't feel like a thing. And right now I feel like even sometimes it's even hard to do like the necessities, like the things that they absolutely need. It's taking more work to like plan it out, and I think that's just the process of like recovering from feeling burnt out. And of course the sleep, of course the nutrition, taking care of yourself. I'm really excited to share what I'm doing, by the way, in a future video, because I think it's working. I think it is working, and a lot of it is the walk that I'm on with God, and putting surrender, like really working on what it means to surrender, because I think we can do that. We can surrender areas of our life that we really want to see change, and then get latched onto like, it's a yes right now from God, and so I'm gonna expect it like immediately. Did you see that I tried to snap and it just totally failed? Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Yes, God is good, and he's good all the time. I think it's like one of those situations where it's like, tell your face that then. And that's really where I'm at, is like believing like in my head, but then my feelings are not consistent with what I believe, if that makes sense. I think there's probably some sort of like more connections that needs to do that. I've been thinking about that. I'm like, if I truly believe it, if I truly feel like, truly believe and trust, there's still doubt then in my heart. There's still areas where I'm working on believing the Lord. That's a very honest thing for me to like say right now, I think. I'd rather be like on this video telling you how I feel like things are going super well, but I really think that they're going super well in all areas. I tell my husband this all the time, like struggling with the negativity bias and looking at the problems, zooming in on the problems and making that like my macro focus, and really forgetting to appreciate what he's done, just because some areas of my life feel hard right now. And I don't know, maybe that makes some of you feel less alone. To me, I'm embarrassed to share it, because I don't want to be there. I want to be over here, where I'm embodying the joy of the Lord instead of just talking about it. And in theory, like, yes, you know. But maybe you can tell me if you've gone through it. Share your experience in the comments, or if you're in a situation like that now, how you are working on it, or how you got through it on the other side. I'd love to connect with you guys and hear your experiences too. So, but ultimately I'm very pleased with the career shift. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, being able to go into this unit. I think it's given me what I needed right now in terms of like challenge, and then also just career growth, and it helps. I think it's helping with what I'm feeling in terms of the whole burnout vibe thing, because you know they say that when you're in a place where things just kind of feel stale, or like you have that burnout feeling, that you should do new things, you should learn new things to try to, you know, get your mind out of that place. And I believe that because I've seen it work before. And with the change, it comes new energy and new life. So it's very, I very much believe in it. And have you ever gone from med-surg to ICU or transferred units, and like what was your experience? Share with me how it's going for you if you're in it right now, or if you've done it before, and how it was for you. Like, was it hard? Was it easy? Was it like you were so grateful, you were so excited? I want to know. And if this video helped you, give it a like, and then consider subscribing to join our family.